All right, let's talk about a piece of grammar that gets a bad rap but is actually an incredibly powerful tool. Today, we're diving deep into the often misunderstood passive voice.
You know that feeling, right? You're reading something and a sentence just hits you weirdly. It feels a little indirect, almost like the action is happening in reverse. Well, guess what? There's a very good chance you've just met the passive voice.
And this slide right here gets straight to the point. Look at the left. In the active voice, Sarah writes a letter. Super direct, we know who's doing what. But now look at the right. The passive voice flips it. A letter is written by Sarah. See that? All of a sudden, the letter is the star of the show. That little shift in focus is exactly what we're going to master today.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. First, we'll figure out what the passive voice even is. Then, I'll show you the secret formula for building it. We'll look at how to use it with different tenses, and then it's time for a little challenge to test your skills. Finally, we'll see this thing in action with an amazing real-world example. Let's do it.
So, first things first, what is the passive voice, really? Well, it's not just some fancy way to say something, it's a very specific tool you can use to intentionally shift the focus of your sentence.
I absolutely love this analogy, so stick with me here. Think of your sentence as a movie scene. In the active voice, your camera is pointed right at Sarah. She's the one doing the action. But when you switch to the passive voice, it's like you're telling the camera operator, hey, forget Sarah for a second. Pan over and focus on the letter. The doer, Sarah, is still there, but she's in the background now. It's all about what you want your audience to be looking at.
Okay, so how do we actually build one of these things? It might look complicated, but believe me, there's a surprisingly simple formula that works every single time. And here it is, the 4-step recipe. First, you take the object from the original sentence, the thing receiving the action, and you make it your new subject. Step 2, you add the right form of the verb to be. We'll talk more about that in a sec. Step 3, and this is crucial, you use the past participle of the main verb, words like cleaned, written, seen. And finally, step 4 is optional. If you still want to say who did the action, you just add by plus the original subject. Easy.
Now, let's see that formula in action, because this makes it so clear. Our active sentence is John cleaned the house. Simple enough. To make it passive, we grab the object, the house, and stick it at the front. We need a be verb in the past tense, so we use was. Then comes the past participle, cleaned. And finally, we add by John. See how it's just a perfect rearrangement? It's like solving a little puzzle.
Oh, and one quick heads up. This is important. When the subject of your active sentence is a pronoun like I or she, you have to change it when you move it to the end of the passive sentence. So, she writes a letter becomes, a letter is written by her. He becomes him, they become them, you get the idea. It's a simple swap, you just gotta remember. Okay, you've got the basic formula down. Now for the fun part, the tenses. This is where that little verb to be becomes your best friend. It's the key that unlocks the passive voice for the past, the present, the future, you name it.
Just look at this table. It makes everything so clear. Notice that the past participle, written, never changes. The only thing that adapts is the be verb. For the present tense, it's is written. For the past, was written. For present continuous, you get that cool is being written, and for the future, will be written. Once you get this, you can use the passive voice in pretty much any tense.
All right, theory time is over. Let's do a super quick challenge to see if this is all clicking. No pressure, just for fun. You ready?
Okay, first one, simple present. We've got the pieces, the windows, the verb open, and Sarah. How do you put those together in a passive sentence? Take a second, think about it.
And there it is. The windows are opened by Sarah. We use are because windows is plural. See? You got this.
Okay, next up. Simple past this time. The parts are the lesson, write, and the student. What do you do with that?
Exactly. The lesson was written by the student. We use was for the simple past and written for the past participle. You are on a roll.
All right, last one. This one's a little trickier. It's an active sentence in the present continuous. My father is washing the car. How would you flip that one?
And the answer is, the car is being washed by my father. That is being combo is the key for present continuous. Fantastic job. You're basically a pro now.
So now that you know the how, let's talk about the why. This isn't just a grammar exercise, right? It's used all the time, especially in formal writing. And I have the perfect example for you.
Take a look at this sentence.
It's describing one of the most famous landmarks in the world. But notice, it doesn't say, France gave the Statue of Liberty. No, it says the statue was given. Right from the start, the focus, our camera, is on the statue itself, not on France.
And the story keeps going in the passive voice. The statue was designed. The pieces were put together. The writer is making a very deliberate choice here to keep our focus locked on the Statue of Liberty. She is the hero of the story, and the passive voice makes sure we never look away.
So why is this so perfect here? Well, a few reasons. First, like we said, the statue is the star, and the passive voice keeps it in the spotlight. Second, it just sounds more formal, more historical, right? And finally, sometimes the doer of the action just isn't that important. For instance, another part of the text says the date can be seen on her tablet. Who is seeing it? A tourist, a bird? It doesn't matter. The important thing is that the date is there.
So here's the big takeaway. The passive voice isn't good or bad. It's not better or worse than the active voice. It is a specific tool for a specific job. When you need to put the focus on the receiver of an action, when you want to sound more formal, or when the person doing the action doesn't matter, the passive voice is your best friend.
So now you have the key. The question is, where are you going to spot it next? Because I promise you, now that you know what to look for, you'll see it everywhere. In the news, in science, in history books, maybe even in that email you're about to write. So keep an eye out for it and ask yourself, why did the writer choose to point the camera there? Thanks for tuning in.